Welcome to the show where we have no idea what the hell we're talking about tonight.
It's every night, dude.
Yeah,
we kind of come up with a topic and then we just gloss over it.
Well, fuck, we didn't even come up with one this time. Shit.
Hey,
where's the camera?
By the way, I was watching somebody else the other day. Same shit. She went like this.
Yeah.
And it was like on a YouTube podcast, like a freaking, I think it was on Megyn Kelly or something. And one of the people did that, and the freaking pop thing went up. Oh, right on! I know how that works.
Yeah, all right. We're not the only retarded ones anymore.
No.
Oh, I can't say retard. I'm sorry. We're not the only 8-pound waterheads anymore.
Water on the brain.
What's up, dude?
This is it, buddy. Right here. Here we are. Wednesday night.
So
it's colder. It's colder.
Oh shit! Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know, man. It was what? Close to 80 yesterday?
It was 80, and then it went to 40 today.
Oh, shit.
It was 80 yesterday,
if it got
40 today. So I had the AC on, and I got up and turned the heater on.
Yeah. So I had what I was going to tell you before the show, and I said I'd save it, is I had the opportunity to go to Liam's school today and do a presentation. They were having a mini career fair, I guess, if you will. But so they had parents come in and talk about their careers, their career paths, and whatnot. And so I went in. I thought I was only going to do one session. Turns out I was there until noon, and I did 3 sessions. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. But I beat feet home. I changed, and then I took the trailer out to the campsite. And I set up the tent, and then I had to fucking haul ass back here to get ready for the first podcast. And now the second podcast. Yeah. So up there at the farm, man, I tell you, it didn't reach 40.
No shit. That's about 45 minutes from where we're at.
Yeah. North. Up 61 north.
That's right. North. Yeah. But it's not too far though. You wouldn't think it'd be that. But it wasn't warm anyway. I mean, considering that it was 80,
right?
It was pretty beautiful all weekend, right?
Oh, it was phenomenal all weekend. The thing though is that up there, it's open land, so the wind just rips through there, man, and that's what makes it so freaking cold. But I got nestled back up, man. You haven't been up there yet, have you?
Mm-mm.
I got to get you up.
Bigfoot territory, yeah. I should do that sometime, dude. Get up there and see Bigfoot.
But you're not a big camper, right?
I've never camped a day in my life, dude. Never.
What?
Not one fucking time.
Oh, bro.
One time. So my wife is trying to make me, I'm an indoorsy guy, man. And I mean, like, I don't get it. I don't, like camping was in when people were trying to colonize. They had to fucking sleep outdoors. You don't have to sleep outdoors. That's like saying, you know what, man, I'm going to turn my AC off in the fucking middle of summer because I just like the feel of sweat and shit and like to rough it. I like to rough it.
Let me tell you something though, man. It is so, you got to go with me. It's so recharging to get out there, be disconnected from fucking everything. And when I go camping, man, I'll admit it. I go glamping. I don't mess around.
Yeah, I've seen you set up, dude.
I don't mess around.
So I was looking at a trailer the other day. I almost bought a fucking trailer.
Another one?
Like a camper.
Oh.
Like I was thinking, you know what? That looks... So I started getting into it, and I'm getting into it pretty deep. The wife thought I was kidding, and next thing you know, I'm like, man, that's $150,000. I'm like, so I start coming down in price.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, oh, this one's only $60,000. I could do that. Put it on the property up there, right?
What the hell kind of trailer are you looking at?
But that's the way to do it. Well, then she started going, no, and then I ended up down in like the $12,000, which that's actually a steal, dude. Like for $12,000, you had bunk beds and shit. And I was like, fuck, I'll do that. Like,
you like a pull behind? Is that what you're
just a pull behind camp.
Yeah.
Something I could have actually pulled. It was like a Coleman. I could have pulled it with my Jeep. It was only like, I think 2,900 pounds. And I was like, fuck, I'll go buy that. I go, let's go look at one. She's like, okay, let's just fucking dial it back a bit.
Was that dry weight?
Yeah, just dry weight. Yeah. But she's right. I would have liked it for like a weekend. I went, okay, all right, fuck this. What are we going to do with it now? And I had it pulled back into the trees.
I know somebody that'll borrow it.
Dude, I can't believe when I was looking at them. So I've been watching this show, man, and I kind of like it, but it's a standard fucking television show. It's on Paramount, I think, called The Tracker. And the guy has a freaking setup, dude. And I think of you every time I see it. He's got this big ass, I think it's a Chevy dually. He has behind it an Airstream. I looked it up, dude, just to price it out. I was like, man, that's nice.
Airstreams?
He has an Airstream.
Oh, yeah.
It's called, I'm pretty sure the model is a Globetrotter. It comes in about 130, I want to say.
But for an Airstream?
Yeah.
They're so expensive, man. And I don't get it.
It's only like, I don't know what size his is, but I'd say it's 25-foot tops.
Wow.
But it's nice, dude. You'll see him in it at night, just hanging out. I'm like, man, that's the life. But he's single. You'd have to be fucking single.
Right.
But he's just cruising around. He goes around, tracks people. He just pulls that damn trailer with him everywhere he goes. He never pays for a hotel, nothing.
Well, you know what I've been looking at lately. I don't think I've told you this. I've been talking to Lou. Quick shameless plug here. Lou is the co-host for Nothing's Off the Table every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Very
right
shameless.
Here on YouTube, Facebook,
fucking shameless as
Twitch.
Shit, dude.
Anyway, totally. Fuck, I'm not getting paid for this shit. I got to get the word out somehow.
Right.
So I'm looking at, Isabella turns 14 in a month and a half. So I'm going to start teaching her how to drive already.
Okay.
Because when she turns 15, I want her to get her permit. And I'm going to teach her on the Jeep. She said she wants the Jeep.
Yeah. That's what Sailor wants too.
I'm going to give up the Jeep.
That's what you said. Yeah.
I'm going to get a truck.
You're going to get the bed.
Yes, I am. Yeah. I'm going to get, Connie doesn't know this yet. And since she doesn't listen to our show, she's not going to know for a while. Although right. I take that back. She knows. She's got a hint.
Well, it's perfect for you though, dude.
Yes.
That's like I said, every time I watch that show, I'm thinking, why don't you have something like even that little $12,000 Coleman? I think it was like 13. I told Bets, I can get this for 12. I guarantee I'll go down there and deal it and get it to 12.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't use it like you would. I mean,
right.
But even that was not, dude. It's got two bunks, right? Bunk bed, or I guess a bunk bed. Yeah. It's got a master. There was a guy. He was my height in it, like standing up. And I was like, fuck, he's in there fine, man. He had like clearance, like 7 foot tall. Like
not clearance.
Yeah, but he was like 7. I'm saying I'm 6'2". This guy was 6'2", and he still had head clearance. And I want to say it was like 7 feet probably. But he was in there comfortably. There's a kitchen. There was a shitter. There's a shower.
Check it out. We just met our nostalgia quota by me quoting that. What's your clearance, Clarence?
Yeah, we're done.
Roger, over under.
And it was nice. Well, guys, we'll be back next week.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
I bet you the dinette turns into a bed too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. Dude, so when I was a kid, we had one of those vans that you could just had the sink. It wasn't like these things they have today, but
right. Like a conversion van.
Yeah. I loved it, dude. Every time my parents would take it out, I'd always get sick. I'd get road sick and puke in the sink. Dude, I fucking be over that sink the whole time.
Sucks, man. There's nothing worse than that.
It's terrible.
That's horrible. So I've, man, that slide-in bed camper, you hit it right on the head. That is ideal for me. And on top of it, that's a guaranteed way to get Connie to go camping with me when I go. I'll sleep in a tent. You sleep in the fucking camper,
Yeah.
Because she's a city girl. And she's a girly girl.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like fucking tents. Although.
Yeah, fuck tents, dude. Fuck them.
Although, we have cots, so we're not sleeping on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen my cot.
We have air mattresses I've never fucking used.
Air mattresses suck.
I got one camping story. I think I've told you. I'll say it again.
Yes.
We were in fucking Santa Barbara, California.
Yeah, cool story, bro. Moving right along. No, I'm just
we were in Santa Barbara, dude. This fucking anybody that's been in California knows how beautiful it is, especially Santa Barbara.
Oh yeah.
But I'm a beach guy. I love the beach. I love the ocean. And I had already committed. We get 3 or 4 nights on the ocean, and then I got to move my ass on up into the mountains, which isn't too far away from there. They have everything.
Yeah.
So that day comes, and I'm like, fuck, and I don't want to do it, but I'm doing it, because. That's what you do when you got a family and you're married. So I drive my ass up into the woods, and it's beautiful, man. They got all those red oaks that go straight up, and we find this little campsite, and we find our slip, because you like reserve the lots, and she did all of that. And I start unloading shit, dude, and we forgot bug spray.
Oh shit!
So, dude, I'm looking at my daughter, and like she's got bugs all over, just in her fucking eyes everywhere. And she was at the time probably 3. years old. And I'm like, oh, God. So I started loading shit because I don't want to argue. Fine, we'll do this shit. I'll just suffer through tonight. And I said, hey, real quick, I go, hop in the car. Let's drive around and see what the rest of the place looks like. Because I always like to scope out the area before I stay, right? Because
Sure.
just want to know who's around. And then we got stopped by the park ranger or whatever.
Oh, boy.
And he goes, oh, you got us a couple looky-loos, do we? And it pissed her off so much because just the way he said it. So you're not supposed to drive around. You're supposed to go, California.
Right.
You're supposed to go on your fucking lot.
Your emissions, God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid. We don't have freedom here.
Jesus
if you thought
Christ.
you had freedom, we don't have it. So we end up, I go back to the campsite. I start to unload the rest of the shit. And I think I forgot the air mattress. And she goes, you know what? Screw this. Let's go. So I said, dude, I think a hotel cost me like $300 a night there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I was so glad. It was like the best. I had to go in. I think I paid more because we didn't have a reservation because we just left.
Right.
Went back to the same hotel. Dude, I was never so happy to pay for a fucking hotel in my life.
I've done that. I did that once. And normally, I tell you, it was very recently, actually. It was last summer. I forgot the air mattress and I forgot one of the cots. And the whole, we took the whole family camping. And of course, when I go, I have a routine, man. I have a method. I need to do this, and that. I'm set. I'm ready to go. Well, whenever other people are involved, fucking mad distractions, man. It's always, well, why don't we do? I'm sorry, I forgot you were the fucking camping expert here. So, long story longer, I got distracted. I left one of the mattresses in one of the cots at home. So I slept on the fucking ground that night, so everybody else would be, happy. But
fuck that, dude. You're better, man. Like I was so glad to get the fuck out of there.
They slept great.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even sleep great in a fucking like a what do you call it? A freaking beauty rest out in that fucking. I don't like it, and I had a smile from ear to ear. My son shit his pants in the back seat. He's like, I gotta go to the restroom, Dad. And I said, we got a little bit more ways to go. And he goes, too late.
Oh,
and I wasn't even mad. I was like, fuck it. Good.
We're going to a hotel.
We're going to a fucking hotel. I'll never forget that night. There was two things going through my mind. I'm back on the ocean and I'm not in the woods. And so I said that weekend, I said, I want it on my headstone. Here lies Ryan Wilson. Never camped a day in his life.
It's not going to happen.
It's just you keep saying.
I'm going to fix that.
Well, seriously, though.
I'm telling you, man.
Is it a fucking joke? Like, did your wagon break down or something? You're like pulling it with horses. The wagon broke down. You're trying to get from St. Louis, because that's where they were coming from in the day, right? St. Louis to the East Coast. But yeah, they were usually coming from St. Louis. They were on their way to Oregon or to the Pacific Northwest, whatever. And they had to fucking camp.
Right. But that wasn't camping. That was living.
It was survival, which I consider like, dude, it's no different than me going and reenacting the fucking Civil War. Like, I don't need to fight a Civil War. Why would I go reenact a Civil War?
Oh, man, I can't agree with you on that one, man. I'm telling you, bro, I bring the guitar. I have a fire. I eat fucking good. There's none of this. I mean, you've got wide varieties of campers and hikers, right? There's the minimalists out there. You can have that shit. I did minimalist crap for work for many, many years, and no, thank you. There's a phrase we used to say: "Travel light, freeze at night." Yeah, I'm not freezing anymore.
Yeah, well, you got a heater now, which isn't fucking. I mean, again, here we are. What you're doing. And this is how I see it: is you're slowly building a fucking house somewhere else on someone else's property. That's what you're doing. You're just putting up fucking roots, stakes.
I'll put it to you this way.
You're going to have a concrete slab someday poured out there. He's going to be like, what's going on? He's like, I just backing a cement truck up in.
No, none of that.
Foundation going up.
Because, I don't like when I go camp like that. I still have that tactical voice in the back of my head, saying, hey, you leave the campsite like nobody was ever there. So no, I'd never do a slab like that. But here's the deal, man. It's great for my mental health. So
yeah, but back. So let's cover this though. When you first started camping, you probably just started with a tent.
Oh well, yeah. When I was
and then you got a grill. You want those little, and then you've expanded. Now you got a fucking trailer in your garage that holds all of your shit. I don't know what I did there.
Actually, that's not true. The trailer's at the campsite right now.
Yeah, well, there you go. But it holds all of your shit. So here's what you're doing. This is how I see it. You're no different.
Why are you fucking shitting on my parade, man?
I'm not. I'm just pointing some shit out. That's it. I'm just explaining yourself to yourself. And here's what happened. Here's what's going on.
Go ahead, Dr. Phil.
Here's what's going on. So what you're doing is you're doing what they did, the settlers did. You just don't know you're doing it yet. So I
ain't shot no engines.
Not yet. You haven't.
Good point.
Not yet. But you're slowly taking. So you're moving. You're migrating. And you're going somewhere else. And you started out with a little tent. Then your tent's grew. You got a fucking shower. I've seen your shower. You've got a shower now. He's got a stand-up shower with a private dressing room.
All I hear is blah, 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 blah. I'm fucking jealous. That's all I hear.
You know where this is going. Next thing you're going to have, I'm telling you, this is what the settlers did. They did the same thing. They went, let's make do until we can start putting up our first board.
So I see your bottle there.
Mm-hmm.
What flavor of Haterade is that?
it's I don't know, fruit punch. Fruit punch.
Fruit punch.
I'm not hating. I get it. I wish I could do it. I like the idea of it, but I'm not dumb. Also, I know what you're doing. You're slowly migrating. You're doing it, and you're convincing yourself. Like when you start sending out, like you got a heater.
Yeah,
that's the beginning of a home.
So
you're slowly building your home somewhere else. I'm just putting it out there. I see that stuff and I look at the camping gear because I've looked at it before and I thought, what do you need? And then I look and I go, this is just it's the beginning of a home. You're like, oh, I like it out in the woods. The next thing you know, you're building a house out in the woods.
No, well, I would live in the woods permanently. Somebody that just we won't mention any names, Connie, won't do it. So I have to resort to camping. I could be perfectly happy, isolated.
Oh, dude, I could too. Yeah,
away from fucking everybody.
No, I love that, dude. But I need the AC. I need a home. Like I'm kind of in the woods now, right? And I'm talking right now because we were talking about adding on because of the fire.
Right.
Now I'm trying to convince her I want like more acreage out that way, and I want to build a fucking home on it, and I want more space, more room. I love the idea of that. Mm-hmm. I just don't want it to be in a tent.
I'll tell you what, man. One time. Just come with me one time.
That I can't put out never camped a day in my life on my gravestone.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. And I'll never bother you about it again.
All right, we'll see. It's much funner to make fun of it.
For you, maybe. I don't see the enjoyment.
Of course,
the joy out of it. But I'm serious, man. You know, everybody's got their shit. Camping does it for me. Now, here's the thing. I swore after being with the Marine Corps for so long that I would never camp again because there's nothing nice about that shit, man. It's rough. It sucks. I went. When we first moved here.
Yeah, but you were working then too, though. I mean, you're working. Right. So there's not going to be anything fun about that.
When we first moved here in 2018, Liam joined the Boy Scouts for a little bit. And we went on one camping trip. And, man, I had this – I still have it's a mock version for anybody watching of the Marine Corps dome tent. Mock.
What's that mean?
It's like a little 2-man tent. So I took him. It's a little dome tent. It pops up. It's good. Anyway, I'll show it to you later. Doesn't matter. The point is I took that with us. He and I sleeping in that thing. It was miserable because my dumb ass is still thinking, oh, I'm gonna rough it, blah blah blah. Sleeping on the ground. Oh God, it was horrible. And right then, number one, I had trouble getting in and out of the tent because you have to bend down to get in, and my back is screwed. So I was like, I'm never camping again. Screw this. This sucks. And well, then a buddy of mine, he said, you should try a hammock because I told him that story. He said, no bending to get into nothing. You put it up, sleep in there, and you sleep like a baby. So I tried it. I got a hammock. I got a bug net that goes over the hammock, so none of the creepy crawlies
it's like
get
Gilligan's
me.
Island.
Yeah, kind of. But man, that first night I got that, I slept so good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? There's something to this. I think I'll start camping again. And so I started out going with just the hammock and the rain fly and that, and everything was working out great. And then I got Alma, and then I realized, well, she can't get in the damn hammock. She can get under the tarp, the rain fly, but she's sleeping on the ground. So, well, let me get a tent, man. So I got a tent, and I got a couple of high dollar air mattresses, sleeping pads. It wasn't the same. And then finally I realized, let me buy a cot because I am not sleeping on the fucking ground. And I'm tired. Well, it's not tired. I enjoy sleeping in the hammock, but the whole dog situation. So I got a freaking cot, and bro, that thing was money.
Mm-hmm.
It was gold. I was golden. So the kids started saying they want to go camping with me, and so I'm like, cool. I didn't have enough room, so I went. That's when I bought that big ass tent,
Mm-hmm.
13-foot yurt tent. It's got room for days in it, and get the whole family in there, and it's a awesome tent. It's canvas. It stands up to the weather great, and more importantly, I thought at the time, get the family to go with me. They go and they're like, this is cool and all, but yeah, I don't want to go back.
Yeah, fuck that, right?
Well, my kids are soft.
Well, dude, hey,
They're
so
soft.
I got a tent too. I had two of them. I had two fucking tents. One was the one I took down. It was a nice one. It was like a big ass. Had 2 bedrooms in it and a fucking living room. Like, but it's a fucking joke.
Me.
It's a joke because it's like it's not a bedroom. There's
Right.
a thing of canvas separating you and a zipper and a fucking zipper. And again, it's like trying to be at home. You really want to be at home. That's what I see. I really wish I was in my home. Like when people say I have a 2-bedroom, it's like 10 foot by. Sounds like you want to be at home.
Now, if I were bringing TVs and that kind of shit out there, yeah, you got a point. But
yeah,
I go out there to get away from all of that crap, man.
Okay.
I turn the phone off.
So you're building a temporary home.
No.
But, well, I mean, you're putting one up. You got the necessities that you need. You just want to escape from
reality.
The clutter.
Yes.
Yeah, the clutter.
There's just something.
I can get that.
There's just something about being out in the woods. All you hear is nature. There's no stress.
Mm-hmm.
It's you put a fire. You want to build a fire during the day? Build a fire during the day. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Hiking, fishing. It's like, do you like to fish or no?
No.
No. God damn it, dude.
No. There's a fucking market right down the street. Why would I do that?
How do you spell your name? CUCK? Is that what? I'm not tracking.
Why the fuck? It's like, why would I do that? Like, why would I? You don't see me out like, hey, I like to drive cars. I'm gonna go make one. No, I just insist on making my own fucking vehicle. I don't do that either. I wouldn't, like, well, it's fun. You never tried doing it. Great, go do it.
I don't even like to eat fish.
Yeah.
But I like the sport of fishing. I catch and release, man. My point is that there's plenty of shit that if you're truly an outdoorsman, up at my buddy Matt's property, there's tons to do. There's hiking through all the trees. I mean, he's got several hundred acres,
Mm-hmm.
There's 3-4 ponds on there.
Yeah, dude, people loved. So like when we lived in Vegas, I'd go up to Utah a lot, and there was Zion up there, and people loved it, dude. I just would try. I would try to be like, and I'd just see all those guys with their fucking hiking shit. I just like fucking way too serious about this. There's a football game on right now.
Some of those cats are.
Yeah.
I'm pseudo serious,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be comfortable doing it, but I'm not like, I don't know. Have you ever seen I have a YouTube channel, Outdoor Adventures with Doc.
Mm-mm.
And I'll put videos on there when I go camping,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not the guy that says, all right, this is what you need to do. Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I will put the times I fuck up in there
Mm-hmm.
on purpose because nobody's perfect, man.
Right.
And if I'm dumb and I can learn from it, maybe somebody else can learn from me being dumb and not make the same mistakes.
Mine would have been, I forgot the bug spray. And she would have said, dang it. And then I said, oh, I forgot the fucking air mattress. And then she just said, all right, fuck this. Let's get out of here. I said, Fuck yeah, that'd been my last YouTube video. That'd have been it. You see me sitting in the pool that night swimming, looking up at the stars, listening to the ocean hit.
I'm telling you, man. Have you ever camped? Well, no, you haven't. I was gonna say, when we were stationed in Hawaii, when I was stationed in Hawaii, we used to go camp on Bellows Beach all the time. That was fun, man.
On the beach? That would be fun.
You got the beach, right? And then, maybe 50 meters in, you had a wooded area where you could pitch tents and all that stuff. That was a blast, dude. You got the beach right there.
That's a whole other, like, what's the worst that's going to get you in the beach? A fucking sand crab? Like, there's wolves probably out where you're at, right? I got coyotes. I had a bear
for sure.
Like just in my area, like in my trees. I can hear them. If you sit up by the fire pit or just outside, you'll hear shit moving through the fucking woods all the time.
Yeah. Does that scare you?
No, it doesn't. But it's like, it's enough. That's enough. I'm good with that. Yeah.
The thing is that what's great about bringing Alma with me when I camp, nothing's gonna come close.
Right. Yeah. Well, I got my dogs there too, right? Yeah. So it's like I got two of them patrolling the area, and it's like I'm good. That's good, and I get it. I like to be there. I love that. I love that freedom, that space. Because when you're out, the one thing I'll say about, like, I'm in a fucking townhome right now.
Right.
My freedom's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do this.
I don't
know how you have fucking neighbors. Like my neighbors are 4 acres away on each side. Mm-hmm. That's still too close. And it's like, but my freedom's gone. When you have space, you have freedom, real freedom.
So, man, let me tell you, I had plans. I had retirement plans, and I say had. I had 50 acres in Oklahoma that I was going to build a house on. It was great, and it backed into my buddy's several hundred acres of property. Somebody decided they couldn't live out there. Mm-hmm. So here we are in a fucking city.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, does that do anything? Down thumb?
Probably not. And the worst part about here, I was driving over here tonight, right? And I'm like, this place is getting so fucking busy. So I'm thinking, I hate N, dude. N's the worst. So like N's our main road right out here. They're going 55 miles an hour. You can't hardly get out now because there's so many people and they're all going 55.
Right.
I talked to my neighbor. He called. So I always bitch about him. And my wife's like, well, just get over it. It just is what it is. And so we were talking to him and he goes, oh, I called. And I go, well, I'm not so bad because he thinks I'm so bad for bitching. Right. He called the Department of Transportation. Said, what the fuck? Because I got another neighborhood going in over here. 800 homes.
Yes.
800 fucking homes.
It's insane.
It's insane. And it's already bad, dude. If you pull, you can't, every time you pull out on the end, you're risking your life. Mm-hmm. Dead serious. The speed limit's 55. And now there's like, since I've moved in there, 3 times the traffic now.
Oh, yeah.
3 times.
Oh, yeah.
And there's going to be more. So he called him and said, what's going on? I go, well, we don't have the funding for that yet in our budget figured out, or the city planning. So we have to wait.
Shocking.
And she goes, just heads up. It's at most going to be 2 years before we can even start planning this. So they're putting fucking homes, businesses, everything, all of that in.
Well, they're putting banks in. Have you noticed that?
They're everywhere. Dude.
Bank
everywhere.
Yeah.
They've sold all this land. They're buying it all. And I told her, I said, I don't, get the kids through school, and I got to get the fuck out of here.
Can we get like a convenience store, gas station close to us? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're putting banks in all over the place, car washes,
Dude, this is worse than Vegas. It's because my brother came out to look at my house when it was to give me see what we could do to it, and he's been in the Ozarks. He goes all over the place. He's always traveling. Yeah. He goes, Jesus Christ, dude. He goes, this place is fucking busy. Like.
What's going on? We don't have anybody tonight.
Nothing. That's crazy. We're talking about camping.
Fuck off.
Yeah. I mean, everyone just went.
Well, nobody. Maybe in the first place.
Maybe like an old episodes of freaking, what's that lady?
Sanford and Son.
Freaking DeGeneres is on. Ellen.
Maybe so.
So, hey, I wanted to ask you, being a vet, being in the military, not the Air Force, of course, like this guy was, the dude that self-immolation in front of did you see that?
Oh, the dude that caught himself on fire?
Lit himself on fire in front of the fucking. So we had a caller in a while back because we were talking about callers, made me think of it. and they were asking us what our take on it was, and both of us were like, well, don't really know, don't really have a side, don't know enough to go off of it.
Right.
I still don't. I
don't
still
either.
haven't kept up with it, and either way, it's both shitty to me. Anytime people are dying, it's shitty. It's hard to take a side. But this guy obviously felt different to the point where he went and lit himself on fire right there. I didn't. He went and lit himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy.
That dude was lit.
So obviously mentally ill, right? That's terrible. Poor motherfucker. Did you watch the video at all? Did
no.
You see it? Yeah, I didn't want to watch it, but I was watching a show I like, and they put it on, and they blurred most of it out. But I mean, you've seen shit like that before. You get the gist of it.
Yeah,
it's brutal. Fire's got to be like the worst fucking. I seen it. Like I said, my house went up, dude.
To this day, whenever I smell, like if somebody's barbecuing and they burn their shit, it smells a little similar to human flesh. Once you smell that, dude, you can't ever get it out of your mind, dude. The human flesh burn. It's just
that's what they said. It smelled like you can start to smell it, and
it's so awful, man.
Yeah. So obviously mentally ill.
Oh yeah.
For what? You did that for nothing.
You wonder why we have a recruiting problem when we're allowing fucking guys like this to come in, because recruiting numbers are so low.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you he had pre-existing mental health issues. 100%.
For sure.
100%.
Because you don't do, and for what? Like, my take is, at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. I mean, they're not going to stop.
Nope.
No one got to, this isn't a Rocky movie. Your side, my side. Like, no one fucking cares. No one got together and said, Netanyahu didn't say, shit, all right,
wait a minute.
Stop.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me?
Some dude, some 25-year-old Air Force guy lit himself on fire.
All right.
Honest to God, man, it speaks more about mental illness than
recall the troops. Recall all of them.
Pull back in. This guy has, dude. So he burns himself alive, and then nothing's gonna change. And it's like, I always think of the parents when I see that shit. I just think, because having kids and think, man, if you raise your kid that long at 25, you think you're going somewhere, and he lights himself on fire. Can you imagine seeing that, watching your fucking kid?
No, I can't. Did he have some kind of manifesto?
I think he was. From what I heard, he was putting out, sending shit to his friends. Like, he had shit he was giving away. He's giving away all of his stuff. Like, here's this, here's that.
That's classic suicidal behavior. Classic.
Right. Well, I mean, that's.
Did he have like a manifesto? This is why I'm doing this.
No. Well, he did a video before. Did you see that?
No.
So he's walking up, and I don't know if he was recording or somebody was recording him. But he's walking up. You can see he's carrying something like this, but the top's off, and he's got like gasoline or something. I think they said it was gasoline.
More likely, yeah.
Which I thought was kind of stupid, right? Like, if you're gonna light, you think you'd want, because gasoline can evaporate real quick.
Right.
To put some fucking mix that up with a little bit of charcoal fluid to keep that shit soaked on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
if you're gonna do it right.
Oh, dude. So you watch him, like, when he dumps it on himself after he says "Free Palestine" and blah 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 blah. So then he goes down with his lighter. It looks like a Zippo or something. He's trying to light, and he couldn't even get it going. So he's lighting his legs, inside of his legs, back of his legs. Finally gets it down closer to his feet, and it takes off. You
know what? Good riddance.
Yeah, I mean, dude. When I'm watching him walk up, it makes I'm getting anxiety, because I'm like, dude, I just want to fucking don't do this. If you're gonna do it, don't burn yourself. That's fucking insane. That's going to be so painful.
Yeah. Well,
he live streamed on Twitch. Right?
Free Palestine. Go fuck yourself. It's like you said. Keep the politics out of it, man. Mm-hmm. If you're sad, you're sad. I get it, but like you said, that changes
nothing.
Zero.
Nobody gives a fuck.
No.
Everyone's looking at you now and going, You needed some help. Well, and then you're looking at our military, like you said too. Like, what the fuck's going on in that military? But by the way, I want to say this, because we talked about Biden the last few times, and it gets worse every time we come in. It's only a week, and every time we come back, something else happened. To me, this is indicative of the culture. Well, it's of the world on fire. Metaphor, like him on fire, the world on fire. I don't know how it could get any worse for this guy. No one's talking about that. Look, that is just a byproduct of the world burning.
Oh yeah.
This shit is so bad. Wars everywhere, hate, violence, lawlessness in our country, and a dude burns himself in the Washington D.C. Israeli embassy. It's fucking insane.
So last Friday on Nothing's Off the Table, we had Brian Spencer come on, former Missouri State Representative. Well, he told me about this show on. It'll come to me later. Doesn't matter. One of the platforms out there. It's called The Greatest Show on Earth, and it's a documentary. How do I break this down without giving it away? It's fascinating. It's about Trump. It's about everything. It's all political, and it's how it's very conspiratorial. Very. Some of it you can look at it and be like, oh yeah, it makes a lot of fucking sense, man. Okay. And then the other one where they lost me is when they said that Joe Biden is really dead, and that they actually have a date.
Is.
They have a date.
Dude,
he's mentally dead.
That motherfucker
he's mentally dead.
But if you were really dead, you wouldn't fake that. You'd make it look a lot better than that.
So they go as far as to say how he's got these body doubles, right? And that's who we're seeing.
You'd find a better body double than that. For sure,
man. For sure. And like I said, that's where they lost me.
Yeah, that looks so fucking bad. He may as well be dead. I mean, everyone can see this. The part I love, we talked about it last week, is that the media keeps exposing itself more and more and more by defending this. Look, we can fucking see.
Yeah.
You know, everyone can see. Nice try. The only thing you're doing at this point is tarnishing how we will forever see you moving forward.
Yep.
And that's why everyone's like, well, how'd they lose all the trust? Because of this shit.
Did you see where they ranked Biden as the 14th?
Yeah, I think we talked about. Yeah, couldn't fuck. So not only, it's insanity thinking of some of the presidents we've had. And again, though, they would say the experts, the scholars. You can't be.
No,
you can't be an expert or a scholar if you put him up there.
No,
I mean,
it's just once again, just goes to show you cannot trust the media. It's so frustrating, but. So anyway, I'm going to shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
So before I do,
The
Greatest Show on Earth, and it's on, I can tell you what platform it is here in just a second. It's on Rumble. It was very well done. It was entertaining. Some of it's thought provoking, but then again, some of it's just like, come on, dude, come on. And they try to say that all of it is based on facts. So, of course, everything is based on fact. Doesn't mean you can go in there and make shit up based on facts, you know?
Yeah. Disney Marvel's based on comics, but it's nothing like the motherfucking comics.
Exactly. So take it for what it's worth. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'll check it out. It's not. I don't have subscribed to Rumble.
You don't have to. You don't have to have
just get on it.
You just log on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what my smart TV is old, so it's not that smart anymore. So I can't update it and get the Rumble app.
Maybe you're faking your TV. Maybe it's not a real TV. How do I know it's real? Think about that's the dumbest thing ever. Because if you're gonna fake Joe Biden, you don't fake this fucking train wreck.
I'm gonna sniff your hair, and then we're gonna have pineapple.
So here's the killer part, dude. You got a guy lighting himself on fire. You don't show up for the Super Bowl interview, right? You don't. That's tradition to do. So here's what I've heard. He's so fucking gone that they have cue cards for him, like little index cards, notes, and he'll only take 3 questions at his in his addresses, and then they pull him out of there real quick because he can't go. And dude, but the Seth Meyers deal that he was on, and who the fuck is that guy, by the way? Seth Meyers, he's got a show.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him either. I don't even know. I've heard his name before, but I don't know where the fuck he comes from. I don't think anybody does.
I bet you he's one of them Saturday Night Live rejects.
Probably. Yeah, that would fit. But he goes on there. It's like, you didn't go to the Super Bowl. You couldn't. Everyone else has always done the Super Bowl. You couldn't make the Super Bowl, but you can make this fucking slouches fucking show that no one watches.
So I discovered something the other day. It was 2 nights ago, as a matter of fact. I got to look it up to make sure I give appropriate credit where credit is due. I was on Kick the other night. There we go. I want to give a big shout out to Gator Kiss Man. That's his title on Kick. So I just stumbled across, and he had this thing, and I think everybody has the ability to do it, but I just happened to find him. They've got AI voices, right? So you put in the code for whichever one that they have. Biden was on there. They had Trump, Kim Kardashian, bunch of Ben Shapiro. And then you type in what you want it to say, and it comes out in their voice. It is hilarious. Hilarious. I was doing Biden. I said something about Biden. I forget what the fuck it was, but it was so funny. This guy spit his drink out. He was in the middle of drinking. It was so funny. He spit his drink out. God, I wish I could remember what it was. And I knew what it was before I started this story. Yeah. And now it's gone. That's my life. But anyway, big shout out to Gator Kiss Man. If you just so happen to be on, you're not going to see this because it's the wrong title. But anyway, it's really cool, and I need to figure out how to do it. I had Trump saying all kinds of crazy shit. It's got Hillary. Yeah. I was having fun with Hillary. Ben Shapiro. I had one Ben Shapiro. I said, the reason why I talk so fast is because my wife's vibrator stuck up my ass and I can't keep stopping. It's actually better than Ritalin. And it just went on for fucking days, man. So funny, man. I can't do it justice, of course.
Hey, so speaking of Trump Biden, they kind of had a matchup. I was trying to explain this to somebody. They had that Michigan runoff, right? Or not runoff, fucking primary.
The Michigan primary, yeah.
And Trump, of course, kills Haley, which
destroyed her.
But Biden, there was 100,000 people showed up. How do they phrase it? Non-committed or something? Non-committed?
Yeah, not committal.
So 100,000 people came out to say, we're not voting for this fucking guy.
But he wins the primary for the Democrats by 98% or whatever ridiculous number. 68, I think it was.
Now, by the way, you can see there's nobody really running against him. They've cut everybody off that could run against him. They pretty much shooed Robert F. Kennedy. He can't run against him. So if you kind of want to, if you thought first off, anyone that doesn't think there's election interference is crazy.
No, you're stupid.
Fucking nuts.
You're just stupid.
Yeah.
You refuse to see it.
If you don't think that's rigging, or if you don't think that's cheating, I don't know what to tell you. Right?
I got something for you. Hopefully I remember it. But
now you see that, and he's winning these states, and he's barely alive, right? No one wants this fucking guy to. 88% of the people think he's too old, right? It's insane numbers. I heard a stat the other day. They said, who the fuck? Frank, it was Eleanor D. Roosevelt thought he was too old, or somebody, and it was that was the highest it's ever been since Biden. It was 30%.
Oh, geez.
30%.
Wow. So, hold on. It's trying to slip away, but I think I got it by its foot. Yes. Your prediction for the Democrat Party is who?
Obama.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I heard something today, as a matter of fact. Guess where the Democratic National Conference or whatever they're doing is going to be?
Washington.
No.
Chicago?
Yes.
Okay.
Why Chicago?
Well, that's where they were originally from. Yeah.
There's nothing in Chicago. Nothing. Right? Except for that's the home city of Barack and Michelle.
Yeah.
I heard a commentator today was saying
the DNC.
I believe that's
where they would make the switch in most cases. Yeah.
This is the first guy, other than us talking, that I've heard publicly come out and say he thinks Michelle. Mm-hmm. They're going to announce her in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my take would be this. I know people will think I'm crazy for saying this, but that's their only chance.
Well, here's the deal. And this is why you know what's going to happen, right? Because like we discussed previous episodes, they keep telling us she's not going to do it. They keep saying she's not interested. She doesn't want anything to do with politics.
Yeah, because they want it to be a shocker, right? I think Vivek just came out and said this on Michael Malice's program, I think it was Malice, and he said we need to start talking about what they're going to do, not about what they are doing, because what they want is to, when they finally make an announcement, and he thinks it's going to be Michelle too,
right?
He thinks it's going to be done in a manner to where no one's seen that coming, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" and clapping. So we need to start talking about it now, so it's not such a hurrah, we hit a home run moment.
You know, when you put the hindsight glasses on, it's so clear to see exactly what they're telling us.
Well,
by telling us she's not, they're telling us she is.
So I said it like this. I got friends that say
in low places,
in low places, and that say that she already said she's not going to run. That's the thing you keep hearing.
Sure.
Well, Joe Biden said he was only going to be a one-term president.
Right.
Then he didn't even hesitate. First off, he said he wasn't going to run for president ever, and he comes back and runs in 2016. Right.
Right.
Then he says a one-term president, and he didn't even fucking hesitate. Right. That's what they do. They don't tell the truth. I wish people would get this. They don't tell the truth. So if you're going off of their word, you're wrong. But Vivek's take on it was that she doesn't have a choice. That they'll tell. He calls it the managerial class. Managerial class will decide for her. She doesn't have a fucking choice.
He's spot on.
Yeah, you do it. You just fucking do it. They're going to tell you to do it. And here's the thing. I will say this. When she announces, she is going to fucking landslide Trump. Landslide him. It will be overwhelming because it's everything. It is everything everyone's ever. They love, don't ask me why, but Barack is one of the most divisive presidents.
Right.
I can timeline so much shit.
It's got to be the school lunches. That's going to bring her over the top.
Right. That's it. Hey, no, only apples. Yeah, that was the worst, dude. I would send my kids when she was in office, I would send them with like a whatchamacallit candy bar, and the teachers would they'd catch the kids and say, tell your dad you can't put that or he can't put that in your lunches anymore. Can you fucking imagine that?
Fuck you.
Like, that's insanity.
So, when Michelle gets elected, this country still won't have their first female president.
No, Danny Glover
first
doesn't
tranny.
Count. Well, here's the thing. If she runs, she will be president. Yep.
I can't argue that, really. I can hope.
It would be huge. It'd be
huge.
Yeah, it'd be huge. And Trump doesn't stand a chance. That would give everyone the okay to go ahead. Here's one thing I know about this country. The only thing we care about is I never underestimate our ability to just fuck it up even worse. And the only thing that people here care about is looking good.
Yeah, it's popularity.
I'm reading a book right now called I can't remember what the hell it's called. I should know it, but it's basically how the mind works. And the new status isn't clothes or cars, or it's virtue signaling. It's being a white person that they feel guilty. They have all kinds of money, so they want to support BLM, or they hate their white privilege, or this and that. That's the new way to show status, and they will all vote her in.
Oh yeah,
they will. All the white women in America will step up.
I am still holding hope. I think it's futile, but I'm still holding hope. But what you said is 100% right, because she has nothing to run on.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing. And this is why I think you'll like that.
You won't need it in this country anymore, though.
Right. This is why I think you'll like that documentary, because they talk about that managerial class.
Well, Obama was only a public speaker. He was an organizer.
Right.
He never had a real job. He had
community organizer.
Yeah, community organizer. Never did anything. He got given a seat.
Right.
And he made the best of it. He was a great speaker, and he really was. I mean,
he is. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he could talk, and so can Newsom. He can talk too.
Right.
But there's a big difference in Obama and Newsom. Newsom's a fucking sociopath. Obama seems like there could be some good.
I'll say it again. I didn't like his politics. I didn't like his policies, but he's a dude I'd sit down and drink a beer with.
Yep, right. Yeah, I know you said that.
Trump,
Yeah.
not so much. I like
Yeah,
what he did for the
yeah.
country, but he's just an asshole, man. I would not enjoy sitting down and shooting the shit with him because it would be all about him.
I'll tell you what, dude. Have you listened to the new Kid Rock and on Rogan?
No, not
Fucking
yet.
dude, check that out. I've never been a Kid Rock fan. I fucking sure as hell I am now. And dude, he is exactly like you and I.
Yeah.
I was listening to it going, this guy sounds like me. Exactly like me, except rich.
I didn't like him when he first came out, but he's kind of like a fungus, man. He grew on me.
Yeah, dude,
He's a cool cat.
Listen to him on Rogan. He doesn't really give. He's pretty laid back. Doesn't care.
Yeah.
Says it like it is. He's like best friends with Trump. He says he golfs with him like every day. And by the way, another thing I am going to predict is I think Trump will be on Rogan.
Really?
So I'm making a connection here. I've been saying it when PBD gets on there. Tries to talk Rogan into it, and he says it to him like this: "You don't have to do it." He goes, "But you're the ultimate podcaster. If you do it, he will go on other podcasts." He goes, "But here's the thing: if you don't have him on, then you're only helping the other guy." So there's that. Then you make the Kid Rock connection, and Kid Rock, I guess, and Rogan go way back.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Rock and Dana White are close. They were all of three of them were at the UFC meet together. I'm sure it's been talked about. I'm sure it's planned out. It's coming right before election. He'll get him on there.
Did Rogan ever say why he hasn't had Trump on?
I think so. I think at first he didn't want to be in that kind of spectacle. I don't think he wanted it.
Because he had Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard on.
Yeah, and I think he thinks Trump would probably try to control it, but I don't think he will. And I think he's probably met him since. They probably hung out. I think it's on the down low.
Well, he's been to several UFC events.
Right. And I know they've talked. I know it's in the plans. It's got to be in the work. It's going to be a late campaign thing. That's my take. I think he'll be on, and that'll help huge, but he'll never get in. And he just won't.
I don't know, man.
If they do the Michelle Obama thing, there's no way.
I don't necessarily disagree with anything that you're saying, but I'm holding out hope. I told you last week, I am now officially a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
I've never had those words come out of my mouth ever, but thank you, Joe Biden, and thank you to the crooked ass, corrupt fucking Democrats with this legal circus. If they're going after him for this, they'll go after anybody. And so that's why I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah, I got a buddy that when all that first started happening, he did. He got indicted on late. And I said, but dude, all that's made up shit. And if they can do that to him,
they'll do it to anybody.
Kevin,
is it Kevin Leary? Is that his name from Shark Tank? He's like, fuck New York. I'm moving my shit out.
Well, I watched that interview. He's a developer. He goes, I'm a developer. He goes, why would I develop there if I could go to Texas or Nashville or anywhere else? Why wouldn't I take my money there? And of course you would.
He's been all over the news.
Only lately. A fool. And millionaires and billionaires aren't fools. They didn't get to be millionaires and billionaires by being fools. I always say that about the market. I'm always in a market. I always follow it closely. Those people don't make.
What you mean, those people?
They make mistakes. They make mistakes, but they don't do. They don't do stupid things. And why would you?
They make calculated mistakes. The mistakes they make are calculated.
Yeah. I think you want to even go back to the Trump one, Peter Thiel, right? The gay, gay billionaire that represented Trump. He knew where to put his money. That's how I knew Trump was going to lose last time, right? Those guys are billionaires. They know, and he didn't sponsor him the last time. He didn't endorse him, didn't sponsor him, didn't fund his campaign. It's because Peter Thiel said he's not going to win this time around. And they're billionaires. They know what's going on. They're not stupid. So when the guy says, I wouldn't build there, well, then believe me, all of his cronies in the same boat are saying, I'm not building there either. New York's finished. California's finished. That's my bet. I would honestly like to see Gavin Newsom run because I think it'd be telling if he got a vote. I can't believe Biden would get a vote at this point, but I know he will. He'll probably get more votes than Trump.
He's got 4 right away from The View. Well, do
you think they'd really vote for him?
For a fact, Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg would. for a fact.
Mhm.
They are so delusional.
Mhm. Do you
Yeah.
think though that they'd really vote for him? Dude,
I think so.
they're all entertainers.
The rest of them on that panel, I don't.
Okay, so do you think that the guy that plays Thor really thinks he's Thor?
No, but these bitches are crazy, man.
Do you think that the guy that plays Superman would really jump off of a building? What I'm
No,
saying is,
I know what you're saying.
I think they.
But these bitches are certified. Did you watch the last? They had Whoopi Goldberg on there with Dr. Phil.
Mhm.
She about lost her shit. She's a good actor. You can't act that. I mean, eyeballs bulging out of her fucking head
Mhm.
at the mention of I forget what it was, Dr. Phil. Oh, he was talking about transgender and a bunch of other shit. And how he came out and said it's maybe that was a different show. Anyway, he said something on the fucking View and they lost their shit.
I think I heard about it, but
And
I'll have to watch it.
it was painfully obvious that they weren't acting.
Mhm.
They're delusional, man.
Well, but they're women too. And here's the thing: anybody that knows women, if you get a bunch of them together, and they all they'll all agree with each other, just so one doesn't. That's a Shark Tank. Speaking of a Shark Tank,
but they don't live in the same reality as the rest of us, man.
Well, it's an echo chamber. It's like, dude, I always say this to anybody that goes, well, I just don't get it. And I say, it's when they say echo chamber, liken it to this. If you're in England on an island, I'll bet you talk with a fucking accent. If you go to Texas, I'll bet you end up talking with an accent. You better work really hard at not.
Right.
Because you'll have an accent or a draw. Kansas have draws. New Yorkers have accents. That's an echo chamber. Think about that. If you're around a bunch of people for so long, you start to imitate them. It's only natural. Yeah. And that includes your thinking.
So when we lived in Texas and we moved here in 83. And when I first moved here, I got picked on a lot because of my accent.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to consciously work as hard as I possibly could to talk like quote unquote normal people here in St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
But as the years go by, I get all the time, well, where are you from? I'd say St. Louis. They're like, they talk like that in St. Louis? I said, not really. It's just I'm tired of pretending and fighting it, just I've lived a lot of growing up for me was in the South.
Yeah, well, being from Vegas, right? It's like there's people from all over the world in country that come there. Chicago.
Right.
They talk different. That's the same thing. So imagine these 4 women every day in LA in that booth, hearing everything that's said. They are all going to think alike. That's how the mind isn't that fucking hard. People aren't as complicated as we like to think they are. We're not as special as we like to think they are. We're really fucking primitive, in my opinion. That's why I know it's real simple to see. Would you like to give credit to people? Yeah, but don't.
No, I don't.
It's real simple. Most likely people are going to do what they think you want them to do or say.
Exactly.
And then you just, it's just that easy.
Then they think they're free, but they're so not free. It's liberating to say what you want and just not give a fuck.
That's exactly it. And that's like what makes people, you're seeing them all over now on their podcasts and like Rogan and the PBD and Michael Malice.
People are tired, man.
Yeah. And you get these people that they're putting honesty above, what would be the word for it? They're putting honesty above acceptance.
Yes.
I guess. And that's special because it's not easy to do.
No.
And I listened to, I followed it. I can't remember her name now, but I just bought her book today. Abigail Shire. She's on Rogan. She's on Michael Malice. Same time this week. And I bought her last book immediately when it came out. It was the Irreversible Damages. She's got a new one that's come out about the therapy and kids and shit like that. So I bought it. And but I love that people, she went through hell to try to, like everyone was against her and her ideas, and now they're accepting them. Kind of, they're coming around to them. But that takes a brave person to do that shit, and most people just don't. Honestly, man, they're not that fucking brave. They're just not.
I try to be respectful of people and their feelings, generally, everyone, right?
Sure, for sure.
But I am past the point of giving a fuck about being told what I can and can't say, how everything in society nowadays goes against science, and I have to accept that. No, fuck you. I don't have to accept shit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how you identify. You can pretend all day long. Go ahead, knock yourself out. More power to you. Don't drag me into your fucking delusion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it is, delusion. And I am so sick of a lot of these supposedly transgender, LGBTQ, whatever the hell other alphabet you want to throw in there. It's faddish. That's the problem I have with it. And you're already starting to see coming out of that fad.
Mm-hmm.
You've got
It's gonna hit Bud, but that's not like changing it's not like a necktie going out of style. Well, they were wide, now they're thin.
Right. But people are starting to realize
that's a big fucking oops.
This is ridiculous. Now, I've watched a shit ton of videos. Most of these clowns are just that. They're clowns. They're people that have come together under this LGBTQ umbrella, that if that umbrella wasn't there, they would be social outcasts and losers.
Well,
period. Not all of them.
They've always been there. We've always had Fruit Loops out there.
Yes.
The difference is, until internet came along with social media, we never gave them microphones.
Well, not only that, but we never fed into their delusion. And if you're, one of the first things of mental health is, say you have a schizophrenic patient and they say that they're having a hallucination, a visual hallucination right there. You don't feed into it. You just don't, because that does not help that person get better. And let's not forget, at the beginning and the end of the day, this is a mental disorder. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter how you slice it. Call it whatever you want. You're still fucked up in the head. But that's okay. It's okay to be fucked up in the head. Just get some help. But don't make 0.3% of the population should not dictate what the rest of the country has to say, do, act, feel. I don't have to do any of that shit. And if you get offended, fuck you. I don't care, because there's no guarantee for you not get your feelings hurt. And I think a lot of people are starting to get there, man.
Yeah, well, I think they've been there for a while. I think that's what I mean. That's what's so important or special and important about like what these people have saying. Abigail Schreier, it takes a lot of balls to come out. She did this 4 years ago before it was even really acknowledged. And that takes a lot of balls, dude. You can't, I can't do that. I don't have that kind of balls.
I agree with you. In fact, that it's people have thought that for a while, but they're finally starting to get over some of that fear and say what they really feel. Now, me, yeah. I've never been one to hide it. I don't want to intentionally go out there and hurt your feelings. Well, unless I mean to. My point is that that's not my goal. And if I say something that offends you and I didn't mean it, I might apologize. But if it's a conviction that I have and it goes against your convictions, fuck you, I'm not apologizing. You can't cancel me because there's nothing to cancel. But I'm an American, and I still have the freedom to say and think and do what I believe. You're not going to come in here with your pre-1939 Nazi propaganda.
Which is what canceling is, right? So what would you do to someone back then if you could get away with it? You just go burn their business down, right? They would have a business operate. Well, you can't do that, so you could burn it down by shut. There's so many stories about. I read a book, not Andrew Doyle. What the fuck was it? The Rise of the New Puritans, and he basically gives examples about when it starts, like cultural appropriation and how they just stand outside your business and destroy it. And that's the same as burning your business.
This is pre-World War II Germany. 100%. You don't believe? If you don't agree with me, that's your prerogative, and you're right. And it's also your prerogative and right to be stupid. But if you can't see it, you either don't want to see it, you're blind, or you're too fucking stupid to realize what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm tired of pulling punches, man.
Mm-hmm.
Going after your political opponents, pre-World War II Germany.
Dude, I'm blown away by it. So if you look at the Trump New York case, right, which is certainly he's going to appeal. How does that happen and no one cares? I know you can hate. I didn't think you could in unison get a bunch of Americans together to hate someone so much that they would approve and endorse and encourage wrongful acts.
Look,
especially by your authority, because that is exactly what you're saying is if you allow them to do that to him, then they're going to fucking do it to you next.
It's exactly how Hitler got everybody on board with the Nazi party.
Dude, I said this the other day to a buddy. I said that they had you believing for 4 years, from 2016 to 2020, that the devil would come about screaming and banging his fist and saying these crazy off the wall things. I was trying to think of a movie when I was going through it. I said, but the devil doesn't come like that. The devil comes, and I thought of the movie The Needful Things. Remember that? The guy comes into town, he opens a little store, he's a nice old man,
Like
he gives people everything they want, with the hopes and the dreams, and you're going to have everything you've ever wanted, only there's a catch.
Yep, like a thief in the night.
Yep, that's how the devil comes to you. The devil comes to you with all these promises of student loan debt forgiveness and unification, not divisiveness, right? Or divisiveness, however you want to say it. Better economy, no war. He'll pull us out of Afghanistan, no problem. The devil comes to you as the nice guy,
right?
Good old Joe from Scranton.
Look at all this stuff I'm going to give you for one small little fee.
That's what it is. That's how the devil can't come to you screaming at you and saying the truth or shouting what he believes in. The devil has to come to you. That's how Hitler did it, by the way. Hitler came to a weak Germany right after World War I. Yes. And he came to a weak beat and said, I can give you guys hope. And he knew they were beaten down.
He played on every single heartstring that they had. The economy, the fact that they were no longer a global force, the fact that they couldn't have a military anymore. And he played that fiddle like Charlie Daniels.
Yeah.
And they bought it hook, line, and sinker. When I was in, I think it was in high school, I remember I had to read a book called, I want to say it's called The Wave. And it was basically, they turned it into a movie. It was basically a social experiment in a high school to see if they could get everybody on the same page, just like the Nazis did. And it worked.
Well, it's really simple, dude. It doesn't even...
It's basic psychology.
It's a cult-like mentality. They understand that, too. If you can, especially when you have the power of the media, which hopefully they won't have it for a whole much longer, a whole lot longer. I hope not. And again, that's what makes it so important when you got people like Rogan, all the people we've talked about out there doing the things that they're doing, because it does mean something. And that's why if they weren't doing that, if they weren't doing Tucker Carlson, if they weren't doing what they're doing, where would we be?
I have a feeling that if either Biden or Obama gets into office, they're going to start coming after people like Rogan. And then they're going to start coming after people like us.
Dude, I went to, have you been to Eagle Armory?
Not lately.
You know what? We got to go because I think I might make a purchase tomorrow.
Yeah?
I'm thinking about it. So I went down there. I've had my NFA trust, firearms trust, for years. So back when Obama was in, he was talking about getting rid of class 3 weaponry.
Yeah.
So I opened a trust, got a hold of a lawyer, opened it up. It's super simple now.
Did you get a silencer?
So I went in, I looked at one.
Sorry, suppressor.
He had a ton of them. And I said, what's your best one? He pulled out the SIG. It's super modular. He can break it down every inch. And I'm like, all right. I go, fuck.
I've been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, let's go get one tomorrow. So I said, what do I got to do? And he goes, you just punch this thing in right here and it does it all for you. We get the tax stamp, everything, and then you'll have it like in shit's been coming in 4 days. Well, it used to be like fucking 6 months.
Yes.
It used to be like 6 months. And I said, God damn it. I go, man, I want to so bad. So I started looking at a bunch of, he has guns all over. It's great. I mean, remember Troy?
It's a cool shop.
Yeah, it's a great shop. And remember my buddy Troy that come over to the house a few times? Yeah, he works there part-time.
Oh, really?
That's why I went in there to say hi, and he wasn't there. So I ended up just, okay, whatever.
Are you talking about the one right over here that caught on fire? Or are you talking about a different one?
No, that's Eagle Eye.
Okay.
That's Eagle Armory. It's down off of, it's kind of by the...
Off of 70. I know where it's at. I've never been in there.
Yeah, dude, he's got everything. So I was like, fuck. So where was I going with this? I looked at him and I go, dude, the only thing that bothers me, it's the owner. He's his neighbor, Troy's neighbor.
Oh, okay.
And I go, the only thing that bothers me right now is getting the wrong attention. And I go, how do you feel about that? And he goes, they get $200. He goes, they want these things out the door. They got to pay for that Ukraine war, right? Like that's I was laughing. They got to pay for that Ukraine war. So of course they want you got to pay your $200 every time you buy a class 3. Well, the nice thing. So how they do it now is they got a kiosk, and you just go in, you punch your shit in, order what you want. It takes care of it there. Shows your dealer, shows his license. You pay your tax stamp, and it's like, so if I would have got it the other day, yesterday, it would have been here. Could have been here next Monday, right?
Here's the problem I have with that. I can't make up my mind which one I want to get, you know.
Well, I was like, just fucking which one? They're even fairly priced. There's an Obsidian.
I meant for which weapon I have.
Oh, okay.
Because I got
I know that they have the Obsidian. I think it's the Obsidian shoots 9 through 45, and then the 300 blackout.
Jesus.
Yeah, so you can put them on all those.
Good God.
Yeah, they got it. There's a ton.
Up to a 300.
Up to a 300.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
a 7.62 it'll handle that fine.
Maybe you'd have to ask, dude.
Well, that's bigger than that's smaller than 300.
Yeah. Let's go tomorrow.
You talking about 300 Win Mag?
Wanna go tomorrow? Check it out.
Maybe. I'm going to the campsite.
Well, you're not going then. Anyhow, I'll go.
What time do you want to go?
I don't know.
What time do they open? If
I go,
store,
so 10.
If I go, it's got to be first thing.
I'll text you.
Okay.
If you don't, no big deal. I'll take a picture of mine when I order it.
This is so. How much is this costing you total out the door? You got to pay for the class 3. You got to pay for the tax stamp. You got to pay for the silence or suppressor.
So like the Obsidians, I think are on sale right now for $5.99. So you can get the Obsidian for $5.99.
Wow.
Then you pay the tax stamp, which would be $200. It's $205. The one I was looking at that breaks down to 2 inches. 2 fucking inches, dude. So like I always wanted a modular, but they almost just kind of screw in half. Then you can carry it. This one you could actually have a holster, have it on you in your car, like a 2-inch one.
Oh, that's bad news.
Yeah, but right. So
unless you're wanting to do some nefarious activities, I would never carry one. I would bring it out and I'd shoot it for pure fun of it.
Well, that Troy's been trying to talk me into doing it forever because he goes, I got squirrels and motherfucking shit everywhere. And he goes, go suppressed, dude. I'm like, well, I don't want to kill him. He goes, just put on your 22 and go suppressed. So you could even do that. You get like one of those little sparrows. Those are cheap as shit.
That's cool. I'd totally do that. Yeah. But I'm saying I wouldn't carry like that.
No, and I think that'd probably if you did have to shoot someone, jail. Yeah, you're probably done. You're gonna go to jail anyway.
You're fucked.
But what was I gonna say?
Sorry.
No, I was just trying to think of something stupid.
Shooting squirrels.
Squirrels.
Hey, Brian, what's going on?
But
speaking of the devil,
I wanted to so I was like, man, I should have just got that fucking thing right there and get the process going. I've always wanted one. I've had that.
Me
so
too, man.
The way it is I have the trust set up. So how that works is if you go to the kiosk, you punch it in, you only have to do it once if you have an NFA trust. But you only have to buy it once. If you don't have an NFA trust, you have to pay $100 every time to do that. I think it's like 20% of your ticket or something like that.
So how much did the NFA trust
cost? Now I think they're $150. When I got my lawyer 10 years ago, I used a lawyer in Vegas. It was like $250. I think. So I think you can get an NFA trust, and then what happens with the trust is all of your shit, your class 3. So you can at that point buy SBRs, machine guns, sawed off short barrel shotgun, sawed off.
Certain explosives.
Yeah, silencers, shit like
rocket propelled
that. I don't know about that. Maybe I'd have to look, but then you can put it all. It goes into your trust, and then your kids get it. So no one can ever take it. I don't think they can ever officially take your shit at that point once it's in a trust. So I know, like, because I'm looking into getting like a trust for property and shit like that, and I know that you can put all your accounts in there, all of your money, and if you do that, you're protected. So even if you get sued, they can't actually take.
Wait a minute. Brian says money will change around April 25th. What are you talking about, sir? Money will change around that. I'm confused. I think you're on the wrong podcast, sir. Just kidding. I'm not sure what he's talking about there. Yeah, I need to look into that, man. It's been something I've thought about for years and years. Just never really got around to it.
Yeah,
because we're still being active and still moving a lot, but moving towards gold standard. Oh well, something we don't know? Maybe you should call in.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you should call into the show. You already got the number. I know you do. Not a doubt in my military mind that you don't. So, yeah, man, that sounds.
Yeah, it's so super simple now.
I was just looking at that shit. I'm not kidding you. About 3-4 days ago.
Yeah,
because I was going through my bookmarks and I found an old one. I'd bookmarked suppressors. Like, oh yeah, maybe look at this shit. Maybe I should get one.
Well, I was on my way back from get my mower. I just told you I had to go get. So I went to the dealership that way, came back, and I stopped in there. And the next thing I know, I'm like going, well, I guess I might buy a gun too or a suppressor. But I told you I had to buy that new gun because I gave my wife my little SIG P365.
Right.
And the gun I got has a threaded barrel. And I'm like, I did that so I would finally force myself to go buy one.
I would have to get a threaded barrel, but that's
that's nothing. Yeah,
it's so easy.
Yeah, you can get it. Your ARs might have them, right? No, is it compensated?
I would have to unscrew the flash suppressor off.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, give it out for those first time callers. For those first time callers, that's right. The number is 314-789-0449. That's right. Be dialing, people.
Yeah, dude, I think it'd be fun. Let's do it.
Be the 14th caller. That's right. See what you can win. Absolutely nothing. Because you're a loser. There you go, Brian. Just for you, buddy. If not tomorrow, definitely in the very, 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 very near future.
Right.
Yeah, man. But my biggest problem, and this is such a white racist, toxic masculine problem to have. I don't know which weapon platform I want to put it on. But if you get the one that you said,
yeah, you can go 9. Like I said, 9 through 45 was the one I was going to get. It's called a SIG Mod X9.
You know it would be fun.
Here, I'm gonna look it up.
If they had like a 22 caliber through 308 or 7.62.
I don't think they have that, but they do have it. But the 22 suppressors are cheap. They're like $250. I think they're like called a Sparrow. They're cheap as shit, dude.
I might get one of those just because it's fun.
Yeah, I think I might too. I might even get a little rifle.
And it's way cheaper to shoot 22 than anything else.
Here,
especially since I'm not reloading. I used to reload quite a bit, but when we moved to Japan, I sold all of that shit, and I never got back into it.
So here's the Mod X9, and you can see every little has 9, 8, 7, so it breaks all the way down, all the way to 2 inches.
That's what she said. Oh, it's so fucking tempting, man.
So that one's 900.
God. So let me ask you, can I, what was it, NFA?
Yeah, NFA Trust.
If I can get the NFA Trust,
It's
say,
when you can.
say I get it tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
I don't necessarily have to go and buy something else right away, right?
No, whenever you want. But for somebody like you that has what you have,
Right.
it makes more. Especially, I paid $250 for it, and I had to go through a lawyer. You can do it. I think you can do it right there at that kiosk.
I almost guarantee you I can get online and do it.
Mm,
If they're doing
Possibly.
it, if they're
Yeah.
doing it at
You could.
kiosks and gun shops.
Yeah, so you can get online and look. I was doing it today. Like, if I wanted to have this shipped from Silencer Shop, they said, "Where's your dealer at?" And you can punch in your, and they'll show you a dealer, and it shows you little kiosks where they can send all this shit, where you can have it all done. If not, you have to go get your own pictures, because you have to have passport pictures and shit like that, and take care of your own class or your tax stamp. But that kiosk will do it all right there for you. So for somebody like you, though, $100 every time versus $150 just for your tax stamp and be done with it.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to go.
And then your kids get everything. And you can actually, I think you might be able to throw all of your other guns into it eventually. I don't know how that works. Mine's called the real original Wilson Firearm Trust.
Wow, I don't even know.
I think they engrave it for you when they send it. So you have to have your name. I think it has to say Wilson Firearm Trust on it.
On the suppressor?
I think so. And they engrave it, and then they send it, when they send it out, that way they know it's yours. Yeah.
I think I might put Mike Hunt.
You can do anything you want. Yeah. When I was asked, I was like, well, how do I want it? And I'm like thinking, now there's so many ways I would go about this so differently.
I don't know what I would put it as. I don't want my name on it. If it's engraved like that, I want something else. I don't want my name on it.
Why?
It's
all coming back to you anyway.
I know that. I just don't want it.
And if anybody stole it and got caught with it, wow.
Oh, they're fucked.
Wow.
If the cops don't, or if the cops catch them before I do, I mean, they'll be fucked. If I catch them, well,
yeah,
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Yeah, class 3 is going to be completely different. But so many places are doing it now. Like,
I need to get. You know what? I'm glad you brought this up, because I know shit need to get on this before when Biden gets elected again.
Well, let's go
all
tomorrow.
Bets are off. And if we already have it, we already have it.
Yeah.
It's the same when the Clintons did the freaking high capacity magazine ban. You know, if you had them, you had them. You couldn't buy them new, but you were kind of grandfathered in if you'd already had them.
Yeah, you can get the machine guns and everything with it. My buddy's got two machine guns, like he's got on his class 3. So he's.
What does he have?
He told him one was an AK, and he bought it, and he said all it really was is the trigger mechanism. So you can take the trigger out, and put it like it. That's what you're paying for.
It's this. It's not the trigger itself; it's the actual sear.
Okay,
but little fun fact: you can file down a sear on any weapon,
right,
and make it fully automatic. However, you get caught, your ass is going to jail for a long time.
Right? Yeah, and that's like a sawed-off shotgun. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But you can buy those shotguns now that are pretty much the same fucking thing.
I had an AR platform that it was obviously semi-automatic, but for whatever reason, it would get carboned up, and whenever it built up carbon, we're talking after like 30 rounds, it would start bursting. You pull the trigger once, and it would burst 3 rounds. First time it happened, it scared the shit out of me, right? Because wasn't supposed to do that. And so I'm thinking, man, I get in a lot of trouble for this. As somebody, you know,
and that would all be it would be on you, by the way.
I could get a good lawyer and have it fought, because there was no modification to it. It just happened to be that when it got all that carbon buildup, it would make the sear slip. I could beat it in court, no doubt. but why go through that?
Right.
You know,
It's
so
not worth it. Yeah.
so I changed everything. I changed the gas tube. I changed out the boat carrier group. I put all new parts in it. I have not had a problem since, but I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of cool for a while.
I bet it was. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I bet it was, man. Yeah.
Speaking of, I have to show you the other safe later after
Okay.
we're done.
Yeah. So let me tell you my lawnmower story. I had to go out. I looked all over. I was like, I don't want to buy a lawnmower at a box store this time because I had problems with my last one. I only spent like $1,500 on it. I ended up having to take it back 2 years later, and I missed the warranty by 1 month.
Oh, geez.
And it cost me almost $600.
Good God.
So I was like, I'm not going to buy one of those again. They don't actually service you. So I found a dealer. That's how I ended up at the gun store, by the way, driving back home. Like, well, fuck it. Let's just keep spending money. Go to this dealer, got the one I wanted. And I was talking to the guys.
What did you get?
I got a Skag 61. Dude's got a 61-inch deck.
Damn.
I'm going to knock that fucking... Well, my kid will.
That's like Michelle Obama.
Right?
61-inch dick.
Hers is 70-something. But it goes like 8 miles an hour. It's got a fucking 27 horsepower. It's fucking raw. Wait till you see this motherfucker. It goes 5 miles an hour backwards. So my last mower was a tractor.
How fast does it go forward?
8 miles an hour forward.
And
That's it? Dude, my last one, my tractor, you can buy it like Lowe's and shit at Husqvarna, was 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's at full speed. This motherfucker's going to fly. I told my son, I go, you're going to have so much fun. Don't kill yourself on that. Helmet time. But it goes 2 miles an hour faster than my old one backwards.
Jesus Christ.
61-inch deck.
He is going to kill himself.
He's going to kill himself.
God.
They're going to come out and train him how to do it.
You got insurance on him?
Yeah.
You might want to get
insurance.
No, I think you should.
Yeah, fuck him. But they're going to train him. They go, we'll bring it out. We'll train him.
Is it a 0 turn radius?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's fucking nice. So I was looking, and as nice as mine was, I go, well, here's my budget. Here's what I want to spend. And they go, I was looking at some others. I go, man, that's a nice looking mower. And I looked at the price. I go, fucking $12,000. I was like, man.
Holy
I go,
shit.
that's steep. And the guy looks at me and goes, yeah, there's like $35,000 mowers here. And I go, who would need a $35,000 mower? Well, there's a lot down here they have to maintain. It's just owned by a company, and there's nothing on it. They tore it all down. It's vacant, but they have to keep mowing it. So they have 3 of those on it. I'm like, fuck, the company that mows it has 3 of them.
Yeah.
So they must make their money.
That. Landscaping companies.
Yeah,
you know.
but $35,000, dude. Like,
ridiculous,
Jesus,
man.
Like mine is like almost on the verge of commercial. Because when you start to dip into commercial, you're like at $10,000. Mm-hmm. I didn't spend that much, but that's when you start to get up there. You're going to use it every day. I think mine will do like 5 acres. I think I have like maybe 2 acres to mow. The guy goes, it's a bit overkill. I'm like, you know how it is. You buy good. You don't want it to break down. You don't want to deal with the shit. But I was blown away. They make $35,000. Dude, that's a fucking...
I don't want to pay that much for a car.
That's more than a car. Yeah, that's more than a car.
God.
Like
I would, but I don't want to.
$35,000. But you think how much money you must be making if you can buy 3 of them.
Well, a lot of that they can use as write-offs too. Maybe not the entire thing, but every little bit helps.
Well, sure, yeah. You can write it off of your company. You're going to get that expense written off. You're not going to pay for it out of your. It's just it is right.
Expensive, man.
It's a lot of money.
Golly.
Well, I'm surprised they make them.
So,
what do you think it's like? I wonder what it's like to write it. I almost want to write it now.
Right, better fucking blow me for that much money.
Must go
wipe
fast.
my ass. So I went out to my buddy's place today, and he says, "Hey, come here. I want to show you what I did to your tractor." It's funny how he says my tractor. Right? He put a roof on it and a windshield and everything. He goes, "Yeah, that'll keep you dry in the rain now." Because I go up there and I
he's got a tractor is that how he mows?
Yeah.
My neighbor's got a tractor, dude. I see him out there pulling the mower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This dude's got a lot of property, man. So I go up there and I brush hog for him.
Does he mow it all?
Oh, yeah.
700 acres?
Not all of it.
Okay.
A vast majority of it. But because he also leases a lot out to farmers. So they come in and they'll work that portion of it. And he gets paid for them to do that. But yeah, he mows quite a bit of it. Mm-hmm. He just likes to have it look neat and nice and not overgrown and shitty looking, right? So as as a currency, as Brian was just talking about. One of the I go up there and I work as land for him in return for going camping, hunting, fishing,
Building your home on it.
whatever, you know.
Fucking settling.
But you know, speaking of therapeutic, there's something very therapeutic about getting on that tractor
Yeah.
and just cutting, because you don't have to worry about anything else except
Yeah.
for what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to pay attention right now.
So on my little mower, that little tractor I had, I love to do it.
Mhm.
I'd put my ear and listen to podcasts or books, audiobooks.
Yep.
But I wanted my son to learn to, you got to have
Yeah, of
something you got to
course.
show up for. You got to do it.
Yeah.
But when I was buying this, I was like, why do I fucking care? I should give him a walk behind mower. Why do I give a fuck? Okay.
Right.
My reason for upgrading a little bit was I don't want to keep throwing good money after bad money.
Totally.
Because that's the way that when I had to take that tractor, and they were like, these fuckers break all the time.
Well, and that's exactly what I was thinking when you said that guy says a little bit of overkill. I'd rather pay for the overkill now and save all that money than in a year and a half, 2 years, have to go back and either have it repaired or buy a new one because a piece of shit broke down on me.
And it really wasn't even that. So the one he was trying to sell me on, they were like 54 and 48-inch decks. They're only like a couple $100 cheaper.
Yeah, why not go bigger?
Why wouldn't you?
So I'll tell you what, man, if it really bothers you that much, you just put it in the trailer, bring it over here. You can cut this grass. You know, if Jet's too busy cutting your grass and you got that itch, just come on over.
You know what? The guy goes, your son could probably earn some money with this. And I said, wouldn't that be nice? But all my neighbors have those same fucking mowers. So, you know, but I got to piss. Should we close this out?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Hey, Brian, thanks for being you are the winner tonight. Ding, 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 ding. You are the number one listener tonight. As a matter of fact, not only you the number one listener, you are the only listener. So thank you.
Is that it? No shit, sucks.
That's
God,
unusual,
we suck,
man. That's unusual. We usually have, way more than that. But anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen,
we're too political.
boys and girls, that could be. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Well, we have to get more political.